My name's Adam from Ace Contracting Solutions. Primarily we do EV in the green and renewables, and our target area at the moment is Peterborough and Lincolnshire.
How long have you been on board with Leads Every Day?
We're coming up for about 18 months now.
How did you first hear about Leads Every Day?
You contacted myself actually, very cautious to start with because we've never done any lead generation or worked on any campaigns. So a couple of messages and phone calls back and forwards with Kai. Can honestly say from once we had the first instalment and the campaign went live, we've not really looked back. There's a famous phrase, you know, if you want the baby to grow, you've got to feed it. So we had to put some investment in. It's okay for a small area of people knowing what you're doing, but the people outside your area, if they don't know you, they're not going to use you. So for a little bit of investment, we'd see if we got a return on it. We are month in, month out. And like I say, we're still with you. And in fact, we've actually grown the campaigns and we're spending more with you now.
How were you generating your business before you joined Leads Every Day?
A little bit of Instagram, a little bit of Facebook, word of mouth, our website, a few little ads in a few little papers and stuff like that. But that was primarily it. And we was very nervous about going into lead gen because we've never done it before.
How does it compare now that you're with Leads Every Day?
I'm going to be really honest. We're inundated with work. You run a very seamless campaign that works extremely well. The leads that come through to me are not shared, they're mine. It brings in more than it costs. So the return on investment, it's like I say, it's a no-brainer.
Would you say it was an easy process getting started with Leads Every Day?
Oh, it was, yeah, like I say, seamless. We paid the first investment. Kai was on the phone every day, making sure that we was happy, giving us up-to-date progress on what the campaign was doing, how far along it was. And I think it was in a matter of 10 days, we had our first lead come in. We converted that into a job. And we actually managed to upsell on that job as well. So it wasn't just an EV install. We managed to upsell on a distribution board upgrade and some other bits and pieces.
What were your thoughts when we first told you how much it cost and what it is that we did?
I had an idea in my mind of how much I wanted to spend and what I needed to convert that investment into a turnover, what my gross and what my net should be. So I sort of knew the numbers and I thought I'll give it a go. And yeah, we blew it out of the water, to be fair.
The cost that Kai first presented to you, you weren't put off by it?
No, because we did a little bit of research and I knew that we had to put our hand in our pocket. But going forwards, and anybody watching this, just put your hand in your pocket, and because you won't look back.
How many jobs would you say you do on average a week just off the back of Leads Every Day?
So I don't really monitor it weekly, but for instance, today we've got 2 EV installs being done by our workforce. I've got one happening in Wisbeach and I've got one happening in just north of Peterborough for 2 different engineers. They're going to take half a day. For us, it's a nice little filling gap, keeps cash flow going while the big jobs are being undertaken. I would say we're doing about 3 or 4 a week. We'd like to manage about 10 a month.
How much do you actually spend with us a month?
So we're spending about £850 plus the VAT, £8,000 to £12,000 a year with yourself, and that's generating about 100 grand's worth of work. We have scaled that back slightly because it's the summer holidays and we've got larger projects happening for the Department of Education and other bits and pieces and larger jobs going on. So we've actually scaled it back because we couldn't cope with the influx of work. September, October, we're going to bump that back up.
How would you say this revenue has changed your business?
Work's up, turnover's up, profits up. I've been able to employ a new member of staff, which means there's another van on the road. With being able to employ that extra member of staff means that I can look for work elsewhere for larger projects, while these little half-day jobs, full-day jobs just keep rolling in and rolling out. And to be honest, the EV sales itself, if you've gone out and spent 50 grand on a car, you're not going to worry about spending £1,000 to £1,500 on an EV charger. So for me, it's a very easy sell because it sells itself. You've got a car, you need to make it go. We can do that for you. Our skill set isn't in generating the work through the internet and online. I don't know anything about that. I can barely turn a computer on, if I'm honest. So I'm a strong believer that if you're good at something, you outsource it and let the professionals do it. We wouldn't have been able to generate £100,000 worth of work without talking to you guys.
What would you say your goals are for the next 2 years?
We want to be pushing into solar. So we want to be talking to Kai about doing a campaign onto solar. If everything goes the way it should be doing, I'm hoping to have another member of staff, which means we can spend more with yourselves, which will generate more work, and it just grows and grows. I'll be completely honest, I'm 45. I don't want to be in someone's loft. I don't want to be under someone's stairs. I'd really like to be behind a desk and spending time today talking to people like yourselves.
What would you say the biggest job is that you've had?
Okay, so we've done small jobs, if we start small, where people are moving house and they were like, can you take my charger off house number A and can you install it in house number B? So we do that seamless. That's probably the smallest job we do. The largest job we've got is been a two twin 22 kilowatt EV chargers in a commercial car park, which generated about £12,000.
How would you say Leeds Everyday has helped you?
It's given us the push for new customers to come on board, and it's allowed myself to take that initial investment, grow with that initial investment. I've been able to employ more staff, more vans on the road. With more vans and more people, we can service more areas. So if Mrs. Smith rings up at 9 o'clock and has a problem, we can get to her the same day rather than having to go and see her if she rings on a Monday, be there on a Friday. We can just help more people with more problems, I guess.
Would you recommend Leeds Everyday to other business owners?
As long as they're not in my area, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, you crack on. You do whatever you want in other areas, but this area is for me. Thank you.
And what would you say to people who are maybe, skeptical about signing on, like maybe yourself was at the beginning? What would you say to people?
Just give it a go. I mean, how much do you spend on the pub and on a takeaway of a weekend? You know, if you take a little bit of that investment, put it into your business, allow your business to grow, you're going to have a takeaway and a beer every night. It's tried, it's trusted, 18 months with you now. So, yeah, I mean, Kai's, yeah, for me, he's brilliant.